I've noticed Rocket League's been getting a lot of interest lately, and I don't know if that has to do with the World Cup or new features being added, or I don't know, maybe even the Unreal Engine 6 reveal, which was pretty cool. But many players who are coming in new into the game, and this is just goes all the time, uh, do not know about the importance of settings, or specifically your camera settings and sensitivities. Most games, these are just, most esport titles, most just regular MMOs and such. Uh, Settings are just mostly personal preference. They don't h- help you give you an advantage over the other player or vice versa. In Rocket League, I would beg to differ that it would actually. It is. I would say it's objectively that settings are do impact your game to a high extent. So if you're looking to get better in Rocket League instantly and you're just new to the game, one thing you can just immediately do is go into your settings and just from FOV, just from here to here is just to 110. That's just now you've just because seeing more is being able to play. Uh, Knowing where your opponents are on the field is, obviously pretty crucial. Knowing where the ball is at all times is very crucial. But I want to go over all this optimal settings, which I think are the optimal settings based off, what obviously what pros use, and I have a in between of my personal preference um, and pros, but I'm just gonna go over, you know, my settings and where I think where the in between, so you can find your own settings. So field of view though, FOV. Uh, I think unless you're some type of freestyler or something like that that's doing a dribble challenge, uh, your FOV should just always be at 110. I know there's some people who like 105 for some reason. It's just you should just always have it at 110. Um, Now, with most of these other things, there is some personal preference to it, um, but I'd say 270 is where I like it. But there's a lot of pros who have it 260, 250. I've seen some people who have it at 240. Um, their 280s rare. Going above 280, even 290, you don't see often. 270s, pretty much what everybody uses for that. Uh, your height, 100, that's just pretty much leveled. Uh, I know some dribblers like it at 60 or, 50. Um, but 100 is pretty much where people have it at. Angle, there's actually a lot of people who use it differently. There's some people who like it at 3. I know a couple people who like it at 2. But mostly people go between 4 and 5. You won't see people differentiate from here, 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 and sometimes it's mostly 5 and 4. Um, Stiffness. This is where I just say it's okay. Most of these ones right here are personal preference. They just go over how you know. The only one I'd say that's of importance here is your transition speed. Um, that's how fast the car looks at the ball or not. People immediately assume that you should do fastest. That's sometimes okay, but when it goes too fast, it kind of blurs your screen, especially if you have lower refresh rate. So just make sure you have it set to a preference where when you're switching over to the ball, it's not too fast enough that you can't get a look at, when you're turning around. And I'd say this personal preference stuff that doesn't matter. Uh, Steering sensitivity and aerial sensitivity are pretty major impactors of your game, and I'd recommend like all these other settings. You could like change. It's like, oh, okay, this. I would rather try this out or that out. I'd say pick a steering sensitivity for both and just stick with it. I know a lot of players, a lot of pros change it all the time, but when you're just beginning the game, getting something ingrained into your brain is pretty crucial. Uh, so 130 to 120, sometimes 115, is where people have it at. Once again, you won't see much differentiating at the high end of competition changing between that. Uh, if it hasn't already been stated, this is just for people who want to be like the best or get the best settings to match their favorite com- esport competitor or something. Which, if they want to do that, you can just watch their video. But I'm just giving a basic rundown of what you should be having, because a lot of pros, they tell you their settings, and that's okay. You can copy there. You probably have perfect time, but like for instance, Zen usually has this like up to 145, I think, or something like that, um, which would be pretty fast for beginners. Um, a lot of his stuff is, you know, really fast, really tight, really hard to get used to. But I got like more of a squishy muffins thing here, so it's all right to go with whoever you like the most. But um, just getting a solid foundation and sticking to it, at least at the very beginning of the game or when you start playing, is crucial, because the habits that you do and start when you start the game um, are very hard to get out of when you obviously get higher into the game, higher level. Controller dead zone. I mean, I've seen it go to 10, uh, point 0.1 even. I think most people have it at 0.05. It's just a good spot to have it. Dodge dead zone. Now, I'm just gonna say that's just preference, but I'd say if you're on PlayStation or Xbox, uh, zero point 0.7 to zero point 0.6, maybe even 0.75 is best, most optimal there. The reason I say it's kind of personal preference, like there's many types of controllers out there, scuff controllers and all that. Uh, I'm using a PS5 controller. I'm using a DualShock, uh, which has a little bit of stick drift, but I keep it at 0.7. And I won't go into keyboard and mouse players. If you're just starting the game and you're a keyboard and mouse player, I would recommend that you don't. But if you are deciding to stick with it, all power to you. There are really good keyboard players. It's just very hard and grueling to learn. At least from what I learned. I mean, I try it myself, and I look like I never played the game before. So, yeah, just wanted to make this video to people who are just getting into the game, just somehow finding out about this game, even though it's like 10 years old. I think, is it exactly 10 years? No, it's 11, isn't it? Wow. Anyways, yeah, just a quick video. Hope this helped somebody, and yeah, have a good one.